What are the BRICS? Chances are that you don't know what it is, but for the West it has been a nightmare for years, with the words 5 emerging economies with the potential to overthrow the Western economic hegemony. The BRICS is a headache for the US. But why? China and Russia make up 43% of the world's GDP, so the US feels the real threat. However, now that things have started to change, it appears that there is a disengagement. China, Brazil, Russia, and South Africa are not all reaping benefits, so you should also consider whether China and India are truly benefiting from the BRICS. Hello everyone, glad to see you back for another exciting episode of our channel Mega Nations. If you are new to the channel and enjoy learning about fast-paced modernity, you will undoubtedly find our videos interesting. In this video, we will discuss how China and India might break out of the BRICS. Let's get started. For decades, the US and Europe were the economic and political trendsetters that the rest of the world had to follow. At the time, China and India, the two most populous countries, were still on their way to achieving the robust economies they have today. As a result, they had to follow the economic and political order the West was creating and implementing. However, this does not imply that China was not contemplating its own economic and political order. The Western region was advancing its interests and adding more and more countries to its bloc, leaving nothing for China. This is when China decided to demonstrate its ability to project its influence around the world. Before we continue, let us know if you are enjoying the video. If so, please like, share, and subscribe for more videos about China's development, power, and influence in the world. Russia and China itself, later South Africa, was also added to BRICS, which transformed that name from BRIC to BRICS. However, this name was not new. In 2001, Goldman Sachs, then chief economist, coined the term BRICS for the nation with emerging economies, and after 8 years, this was manifested when these 4 nations decided to join hands and sit together to get their say in the global matter. However, this was not a political alliance. Nations sat together to boost their economic strength. This became evident when China and India began to show exceptional growth in 2009. China's GDP was $5.102 trillion in 2009, but doubled to $10.48 trillion in 2014. In other words, it took China 60 years to build an economy of $5 trillion, but only 5 years to double it. In 2009, India's gross domestic product (GDP) was $1.34 trillion, and it is now $3.8 trillion, which is 3 times what it was prior to joining the BRICS. These are the facts and astounding growths the world could not ignore, which is why countries like Saudi Arabia exist today. Iran, Argentina, UAE, Thailand. BRICS can provide a safe haven for any economy that wants to grow. Countries don't want to let this opportunity slip through their fingers. However, does this mean that any country can join BRICS and triple or quadruple its GDP? The answer lies in why China and India are breaking away from the BRICS. China and India's phenomenal GDP growth does not imply that Russia will follow suit. Despite the alliance's emphasizes on a win-win strategy in which each member should be provided with equal growth opportunities, Brazil and South Africa also experienced identical growth. Countries like Brazil and Russia joined BRICS to get out of their own crisis. Both countries had experienced financial crises at different times, and BRICS was the only alliance that could pull them out of the quagmire. BRICS worked well at first, but the financial crisis of 2008 made things difficult. China and Russia had surplus capital that kept BRICS afloat, but the financial crisis of 2008 made things difficult. In 2009, Russia's gross domestic product (GDP) was $1.3 trillion. Thanks to BRICS, it multiplied and reached an all-time high of $2,288 trillion in 2013. In only 4 years, Russia's economy nearly doubled. However, as we told you, after 2013 things began to decline, and so did Russia's economy. In 2016, Russia's GDP reached $1.28 trillion, even less than in 2009. In 2009, Brazil's GDP was $1.6 trillion. By 2011, it had risen to 2.6 trillion. However, it fell to 1.5 trillion in 2015 due to political instability. This was sufficient to indicate to China and India that the day of the countries manifesting the original BRICS growth had arrived. China's economy grew by 80% in 2019, while India's economy grew by 50%. However, Russia's economy dropped by 20% while Brazil's economy by 30%. This is the reason why China and India are breaking out of the BRICS, even though all the members are in an alliance. China and India are growing at a breakneck speed due to the consistency in their GDP growth. Russia and South Africa are economies in decline. They are growing but not as quickly as China and India. Therefore, the same applies. A Goldman Sachs economist predicted that BRICS could soon be replaced by ISIS, with only India and China as members. These are the two countries that are outperforming the rest of the bloc. China's GDP is more than double the combined GDP of the other four members, demonstrating the sheer strength of the Chinese economy. Perhaps the BRICS alliance has nothing to do with the declining economies of Brazil and Russia, right? Do you think China and India would want to leave BRICS and form their own alliance? Since China and India are now emerging economies, they may want to consider their future together. Comment your thoughts in the section below, and if you want to see more videos like this one, please like, share and subscribe to receive exclusive videos like this one.